All right, so you've got your business set up, you have funding, you have some sort of funding, anyways. So the next step is to find your first property. Of course, you want to do some market research and analysis before this, but that's going to be in a bit later video. So here's what we're going to cover: where to actually find the properties, the websites that I use and I've trained my VAs to use, the outreach process that actually works, the Zillow to email script. This is the outreach process. You won't just use Zillow, but I call it this. Alternative outreach methods, you won't use them as often, but they do work. I have had success with them. The lead generation CRM I use, I'll show you mine at a high level that I use to track the properties I've reached out to already, um, prioritize them, what level of contact have I reached out to them once, twice, have I followed up. I'll show you how to make your own as well. And hiring your first VA for this task. This is a very easy task to do. So one of the best things you can do is outsource this early because you can get someone for, $400 a month to do this for you. So if you can outsource something for $400, you probably don't want to spend your time doing it too much, right? You just want to learn it enough that you can actually train them to do it. You'll see. So, warning, this is the most important video in the entire course. Watch the entire video. Don't skip. Don't fast forward. This isn't even a pro tip this time. I don't even recommend watching it in 2 times speed. Just see this one through. So, where to actually find properties to arbitrage. So, Zillow is the main one, honestly. You'll probably spend 80% of your time on Zillow. The other two are niche, for lack of a better word. Like, you will be able to find something on there, and I have had success. That's why I put them in. But for you right now, I think I'd spend majority of my time on Zillow. So I'll show you these. So this is Zillow right here. This is the what it looks like. Pretty good interface. Bed baths, home type. I'll show you this, how we actually use this a bit further in this video. Next is apartments.com. Same type of thing, a little less user friendly, but gets the job done. I mean, my argument is that the ones that are on these two are also on Zillow, but then I see once in a while the odd one that's not, and I'm like, oh, so it's still worth checking in once in a while. And lastly is Trulia. It is a Zillow brand, but I still prefer Zillow, and I think most people in my network prefer Zillow as well. So I just want to show you the three so you have an idea of where to look. And if you are in Canada and looking in Canadian markets, it's a little bit tough for you, honestly. You can go on realtor.ca. I honestly I'd rather you go on Basic Marketplace because you'll be able to get in contact with the landlord, like the actual property owner, and then it will work. So, all right, so the outreach process that actually works. So this is what my VA does. My VAs that are doing the lead generation every day. And this is how I've built my pipeline to acquire all these new locations. And this is pretty much what everyone in the Airbnb space is doing, with slight tweaks, right? Because everyone has their own style. But I'm going to show you mine because this is what worked for me. And I can guarantee that if you do this, you will get a yes eventually. So the first thing we do is we actually reach out on Zillow. Second thing we do is we're going to follow up with an email. And this is where you want to include your pitch deck and your company flyer and where you're highlighting your company and trying to position yourself as a solution. And then you're just going to use the downloadable scripts that I have available for you in the school community. So I'll show you exactly what this looks like. So in the finding your first property, the video you're watching right now, this might look a little different by the time you see it, but at the bottom, I have outreach script for apartments, outreach script for houses. There's a slight variant, right? And this is exactly what it looks like. So you click this. Hi there, my name is Name. I don't usually reach out on Zillow by myself, but this property really caught my eye. I run a national corporate housing company in the US. I'm interested in possibly leasing 10 to 20 units in your building on a multi-year lease. We offer guaranteed occupancy, handle minor maintenance, secure rent against our revenue. I'd love to hear about your upcoming availability and share more about us to see if we could be a good fit. Possibly leasing 10 to 20 units. You want to say that because this way they'll take you seriously and you'll increase your chance of getting the right person to email you back. Because if it's a leasing agent or, just like a typical property manager, they might not have the authority to even lease this many units. So this is how you get on the phone with one of the higher ups. When they see that 10 to 20 units, they're going to say, okay, this is obviously, they'll take you seriously. After that, once you send it on Zillow, you get the reply, you get the email. you have the email follow-up script. This is where you're going to send your company flyer, your pitch deck, everything like that. So, hi, I hope you're doing well. My name is, again, I own a corporate housing company with X units in our network. We've recently vetted your property and city, whatever city you're looking in, and it seems to match perfectly for our clients' needs. So I say I own a corporate housing company with X units in our network. This is what you should say because since you don't have your own units yet, so using the word network kind of, you could say, oh, I have 10 units in my network, something like that. At the beginning, you're trying to get any sort of professionalism you can, right? So we provide housing for business travelers from companies like Amazon, BCG, and High Hospitality. We're looking to expand our inventory. We are interested in leasing 10 to 20 units in your building on a multi-year lease. Our corporate tenants are thoroughly background checked and screened to ensure high standards and reliability. I've attached more information about our company, including our website for your reference. Please let me know when you're available to discuss lease terms and logistics. I'd love to sit down and show you how our partnership can both add value to your property and make your life easier at the same time. Now, you don't have to use these words like word for word, but take something like this. So now I'm going to show you how this looks in real time. So we're going to copy this first. We're going to go to Zillow. Let's say hypothetically we're looking for 1 bedrooms and above. Say we did some market research, we determined that 2 bedroom, 1 bedroom plus is going to work here. I have no idea, right? But let's do Cleveland. Let's say we're specifically looking for apartments. Just spitballing here, guys. I'm just trying to show you a demo. But this is what my VAs are doing day to day. It's just I'm giving them the zip codes or cities I want them to look at, and then this is exactly what they're doing. So we're going to scroll down here. As you can see, there's a lot of units to list, a lot of units to potentially lease, right? In these large metro areas. Now, I know nothing about Cleveland, but let's find out. Let's use this for example. There's 10 units. Take a peek, right? Does this match your criteria? I'd say so. This looks like a very nice building, right? And of course, with your professional photos, with your furnishings, it's going to look really nice. So once you've decided this matches your criteria, we're going to scroll down to the ask a question right here to the leasing agent. So I literally just copy what I just said. Hi there, my name is Aiden. Looking forward. Send message. That's it. So go through it, the whole city, the whole zip code, and send that message and slight variants of that message. What do you think makes the most sense, right? To every single apartment that you think matches your criteria, or house if you're looking for houses. But it's the same thing. You just copy and paste that script. If your account gets flagged or something like that because you sent the script too many times, just tweak the words or maybe make 5 variations of the same script, right? You just kind of rotate between them. After that, that's the initial outreach. So that's Zillow. Eventually, you will get some replies. I've moved on to my Outlook email, my partnerships email. So this is what my VA manages. So we're going to go back to this outreach script. Now we're going to use the email follow-up script. We're going to copy this, right? I'm not going to paste it because they just wrote something like this. But as you can see, we're just copying and pasting the script here. This is a very slight variation, but it's the same thing, the same highlights, the same pain points. And this is our chance to sell ourselves. This is where you're going to put in your pitch deck, the one that you saw in my other video, or your company flyer, the roadmap completion gift, anything that is showing highlighting the value add that you're providing to the company. And that's essentially it. You want to reach out to as many places on Zillow that match your criteria, and then you want to follow up with them on the email. That's all there is to it. So the one thing I want to make sure you guys understand is having realistic expectations going into this. You need to understand that this is a numbers game, and the major players in the arbitrage space send 100 plus daily outreaches every day. So don't get demotivated or think it doesn't work because you've sent, like a few messages on Zillow and you aren't getting results. Just don't have the perspective yet on how much volume it actually takes. This is the number one bottleneck for beginners, because they don't get people, a bunch of landlords reaching out to them right away. They think the model doesn't work. They think they're doing something wrong, but in reality, they just haven't done enough volume. This is cold outreach, guys. Cold outreach has a low conversion rate in every company, in every industry. It's part of the game. Think about how many times you have a random telemarketer call you, and you're like, yeah, 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 sure, yeah, yeah, bye. And you don't even give them the time of day. You don't know them, you don't like them, you don't care what they're saying. It's the exact same thing as this. It has a low conversion rate. So accept that. It's okay. Remember, all it takes is one good connection with a property manager to completely change your life in this model. If you take on some units, do a good job, the property management takes on another building, a new acquisition, and they're bleeding vacancy, and suddenly they're offering you more units and more units and more units because they know you, they've worked with you, you guys have a relationship, and it gets to a point where you can't even take on all the units they're giving you, and that's when you start winning. Every big arbitrager I know, literally everyone, you can quote me, has probably 40% of their portfolio, maybe even 50, with just one property management company. Next, I'm going to be talking about some alternative methods that you can use instead of the Zillow to email. I still think it makes the most sense just because the sheer volume you can get out. I think in this scenario, volume wins. But nonetheless, there's different ways to do it, so I'll show you them anyways. So the first one is cold calling. So I'll show you the thing right here. I have the script for you. I gave it to you anyways. I would mold this a little bit to your personality, tweak it a little bit. But this is a basic cold call script. You can train your VA to do it as well. It would be the exact same thing, except just calling the buildings. Talk to the leasing agent, say the same thing. Sometimes just being personal does help. You just call that number, say exactly what I wrote there. Right, good afternoon, this is blah, blah, blah. Well, thanks. I want to reach out because we are actually a large corporate housing company looking to expand more into Cleveland area, and your property really caught our attention as it meets our exact criteria for our clients. Exact same thing. We are open to leasing every vacant unit you have, up to 20 to 30 units. Usually a leasing agent answers, but if you do call, you actually can sometimes get over that hurdle and they'll forward you to like the right person of contact. So it does work. I just think that the Zillow to email is like rapid fire. So you just get a faster feedback loop. It's up to you. The second one I wanted to talk to you about is finding the property management website and trying to find the right person to contact there. Let me show you how this looks in real time. Now, this one I actually do prefer if there's very limited reach outs that you can actually do. Like Zillow to email is perfect if you see like what Cleveland was like. There's so many listings. But if you're looking at a niche market and maybe there's only 10, right? I think like the quality approach might make more sense. This has worked for me. I have success with this. So we clicked on this 88 units, the Collins. I don't even know what it is, but I'm just going to show you how I would approach this. So let's say there's only 10 places to reach out. This is one of them. I see that's NRP group. I'm going to go, okay, NRP group. See what pops up. NRP group. So this is the website. Let's look for something. Our team. So we'll click our team. Send leadership team. So I mean, if you can get on the phone with the right person that can call the shots, that's how you win. Let me show you. Property management. Okay, so vice president of operations, regional vice president of property management, executive vice president of property management. Click on this guy, Mr. Phillip here. So he's responsible for all operations of the property management side of the company. I guess this company also owns some of the assets as well. And then look at that. He has his extension and his phone number right there. So if you really are confident, you can just call him. Call one of them, right? I had a really good interaction with like the VP of operations in one of the places. I just called him like that out of the blue. It's better if you have an email, but this is something to consider, honestly, guys. Especially when you start getting the objections and rebuttals down. It's not your first rodeo, and you do have the confidence to reach out to people like that. That's how you get those big, big deals. And when you meet a connection like that, that's also when like the little stuff doesn't matter. For example, like you could be like, "Oh, I want smart locks. I need smart locks for this to work." And the building would be like, "Well, we don't do smart locks." And then you go, "Philip, can I have smart locks?" He goes, "Yeah." So having a contact like right up above asset management, VP of leasing and operations, property management, something like that can take you a long way. So figured I'd bring that up. like I said, volume still makes the most sense. Zillow email scripts, stick with that. Shoot 400 of them. Guarantee you'll get one. But this does work the best if you only see 10 places that match your criteria, something like that, right? Where it takes you a little bit longer, but they're more quality leads potentially. So next is lead generation CRM. So CRM stands for customer relationship management. It's a little bit different, I guess, for arbitrage because we're contacting buildings and houses instead of customers. But the sales process is still the same, right? So what we're actually doing here is we're tracking who we've reached out to, have we followed up to them, their number, their email, notes. Are they hot? Are they cold? Is it a person? Is it automated? Stuff like that. And it turns into a database, right? So you can see very easily who you've reached out to and who you have in that city. And that's about it. So Asana is what I use. Some may prefer this. Maybe they've just used this project management software before, so they're familiar with it. That's what happened to me. But most people use Monday.com. So I'll show you both, but also know that you can just use Excel. This doesn't have to be that complicated, right? But when you have a VA, you train them, they're working. It's nice to use some sort of project management software just for convenience, right? So I'll show you mine. I'll show you Monday.com. And I won't show you the Excel, but you can just replicate exactly what I show you just with basic Excel skill. So this is mine. This is on Asana. I use Asana for project management software for my operations too. I've just used this before. That's why I didn't use Monday.com. I honestly recommend you use Monday.com probably. But this is my lead generation CRM. So this is Joelle, my VA, and this is exactly what it looks like. The address, the priority, have we followed up? Is it automated? What type of person did we contact, right? So I'll show you. Property manager, leasing agent, regional manager, landlord, the phone number provided on Zillow, and then the link to Zillow. So I can easily scan where we're at. Look, have we followed up? Yes. Priority hot, not interested, cold, no reply. And then basically what I do, guys, is I just do this at the end of, every couple days when the sub market or city is done. They let me know. And I just see what's going on the hot ones. So she's giving me some basic information. Please let me know, and I'd be happy to discuss options with you. And there you go. That's a hot lead. Now, this is powerful, guys, when you have a VA doing this for you, because while, say, you get a property, you're working on it, you're setting it up, you're furnishing it, the whole time this is happening, you have an assistant giving you this huge pipeline, right? And it's almost like by the time you're done, you're like, oh, I got too hot. Perfect. You jump on them and you're doing it again and again. And that's how you scale so fast. So this is Monday.com. This is what I think you should use. It's very similar, right? It's just a bit more beginner friendly. Now, in the paid community, I'm actually going to give this exact CRM to you. It's just a template. You can just import it from me right into your Monday.com, and you'll have the exact CRM that I used in the past. Exact same thing, right? Priority, urgent, hot, warm, cold, type, nothing out of the ordinary. So, like I said, you can also just use Excel. I'm not going to show you an Excel, I just don't have one, but it's very easy. You just make an Excel table and have the contact, the priority, the type, the phone, the email. You just need to have a basic database: phone, email, link to property, contact. That's all there is to it. But definitely do this because Zillow can get confusing when you're reaching out to so many properties and you don't know if you reached out to them before, you've contacted them, you haven't contacted them. So you need some sort of database. And yeah, so that's it, guys. You can use Asana, you can use Monday.com, you can use any project management software, honestly. You can use Excel. There's many ways to do this. Just make sure you have a database so you're keeping track. Like I said, this CRM I'm going to give to you in the paid community. You can just import it. So that makes your life so easy. You don't have to. In the free community, you can still make an Excel database. You're good to go regardless. After lead generation, I just wanted to quickly talk about hiring your first VA for the task. I'm going to go into more detail in this a bit further in this module. And then in the premium community, I'm going to go in extreme detail on hiring your VAs and getting your whole team set up. But I still want to throw in this video too, just so you can get a sneak peek on where this is going to go. First is why you should outsource this as soon as possible. So I touched base on this in the beginning of the video, but you have to remember, guys, that when you're building a business, you want to work on your business and not in your business. I want you to think about that. Another thing I want you to think about is what is the biggest constraint of your business at this time? If you always think about these two things, you'll be able to advance pretty far just with those alone. Now, what do I mean by that? You should be spending time thinking about how can I scale, how can I grow, how can I get better. And you can't do that when you are sitting on Zillow and reaching out to prospective landlords, right? It's just a low leverage use of your time. But on the other side of things, what is the biggest constraint of your business? Well, if you have no deal inflow, if you have no pipeline, then your business isn't growing. So you see how they kind of clash? You have to know how to do this. So you do have to go through the process. You have to learn and you do have to internalize this information so you can train someone to do it. That's the important part because you can outsource this for only a few $100s a month. I'll show you how. It's in a minute. It's insane. And what this does is it allows you to have consistent deal inflow all the time while you're working on new projects, whatever, and also free up your time to work on the business so you're not in the business doing these low level jobs like scrolling through Zillow and stuff that like anyone can do, right? It's not a hard job. And if you're going to be a business owner, wherever you plan on going with this, you can't be sitting on Zillow all day, right? So just a sneak peek, guys. But where you're going to find your first VA is onlinejobs.ph. So if you click this, this is where it'll take you. Now, all you have to do, look, I already have it. Just type lead generation, okay? You can also post the job. I'll show you how to post the job after. But just look at all the stuff, right? Lead generation, SEO, virtual assistant, data entry, lead generation. $3 an hour, $500 a month. Guy's a degree in Bachelor's of Science, computer science, diploma of computer lecture, and he'll do this for you for $500 a month. So see how powerful this is? All you have to do is understand how to train them, have basic SOPs, have very basic onboarding, stuff like that. I don't want to get too carried away now because you haven't started. I just want to give you a sneak peek of where this is going to go. So there's people right here that can do this job for you. You can post the job yourself. Okay, well, I'm not logged in, but you can look, guys, look. Give me a job posting for lead generation skills. Let's see. And there you go. Look. Key responsibilities: research and identify potential properties, send professional outreach messages, maintain accurate record of leads, CRM, right? Look, you really just copy and paste this and then switch it up to make sense, right, with what you're actually offering. You just copy and paste this, put it right here. And here's the thing, guys, like, if I go to my messages, look, this is for like the old job, you'll get like 200 applications. Look, it's crazy. They just keep going, keep going, keep going. Look, this is how many people want to work for US dollars. Okay, so I just gave you the biggest cheat code ever on outsourcing your work. So don't do it right away. I'm just giving you a sneak peek, but I just want you to see where this is going, okay? So find prospective properties on Zillow, apartments.com, and Trulia. For now, just use Zillow, but also check out the other ones. Send the Zillow script to all properties that match your criteria. The Zillow script is a downloadable resource just at the bottom of this page. If you're looking for apartments, use the apartment script. If you're looking for houses, use the housing script. That's all there is to it. Follow up with the email script paired with your company website, flyer, pitch deck, everything, exuding professionalism, highlighting how you are the solution to their pain points. That was a great idea to lease to you and not a long-term tenant. Get them interested. Remember, you're going to remember that volume is the game here, and there is inherently a low conversion rate simply because it's cold outreach. So it's already baked in to have a low conversion rate. So that's okay. Just accept it. And volume is the game here, guys. Volume negates luck. Fire out those Zillow messages. Track your outreach using some form of CRM. Excel for the time being is fine. You're just trying to get one. But in the future, you definitely want to move to a CRM, Monday.com, or Asana, or anything. Spend time getting this down pat so you will have the know-how to train a team member in the future. So the better you know this, the better you can articulate it, the better you can give this information to someone else to do it for you. You can also just get them to watch this video, but wish I had that. And that's it, guys. Let's get to work.